Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my second week of doing my MLS prediction and MLS Pick'em fantasy league so that you guys could have it. Anyhow, let's just get straight into this one. So we have 13 games playing this week, 14 games, 13 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. I think the first game, and I'm just going to go through them and give you my prediction. The first one is Cincinnati versus New York. I'm going to have to go with Cincinnati on this one. They're playing at home, still haven't lost any games yet, and I do have them as one of the favorite for this season to win the league. But I'm going to go with a 2-0. No, let me not. New York always scores, so let's go for a 2-1. Cincinnati versus New York, Columbus Crew versus DC. Everyone here on my channel already knows how I feel about DC. I expect them to lose. I'm going to go Columbus Crew is going to give them 3-1. I'm going to say for this score 3-1 unless DC United and Bente has something else to say about it. It might be a draw, but I'm going to go 3-1 for this one. Inter Miami versus Colorado. I'm not sure what's going on at Inter Miami. They have not won a game in a long time. I expect them to win this one though versus Colorado. I don't expect I can't really say that because Colorado really played well in the last game. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're being revived or rejuvenized. But the thing is, Colorado defeated a very good team in LA. So it's hard to call this one because Inter Miami does not have Messi. If Messi comes back, I suspect they might win this one like 2-0. But as it stands, if Messi's not back, I think Colorado might get a draw here in Miami. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw with Inter Miami and Colorado, just because of what happened in the last game and how well Colorado played and defeated LAFC. New England versus Charlotte. This is a tough one. But my mind is telling me that Charlotte is going to win this, and I think it's going to be a 1-0 because New England hasn't been playing well. Let's be honest, guys. New England hasn't been playing well at all, so I'm not expecting them to win any of these games, especially at home, because there's no fans in the stadium. And you could see a pattern in this league so far. The teams with minimal fans in the stadium are not doing as well as the teams with a lot of fans in the stadium. And yes, you might have some outliers here and there, but for the most part, the teams with a lot of fans in the stadium are doing pretty well. And that atmosphere, tends to push them the extra mile. And there's no one in the New England Revolution Stadium, so I expect they're not going to win this game. I'm going to go 1-0 for Charlotte. New York City versus Atlanta. This game might be a draw. I think it might be a high scoring draw, maybe a 3-3 or maybe a 2-2. I'm going to lock that in and go 2-2 for New York City versus Atlanta. Vancouver versus Toronto. This is going to be a big game. I do expect Vancouver to win this one. They're currently leading the Cascadian Cup right now, and they're still up there and about in the league table as it stands. So I do expect Vancouver to come out of this one with a win. They're currently second in their conference and sixth overall in the league. So I do expect Vancouver to win this one versus Toronto. LAFC versus LA Galaxy at LAFC. Ooh, this is a big game, big match. I'm just really frustrated that I won't be able to watch this one live so you guys could get it to react to it, but I'm gonna put my prediction to say LA will win this one. I do believe LA will win this one. They have the better team in my opinion. I think as it stands, they're leading their conference and they are currently first in the league, so you can't go against the team that's in form. I have them to win this one. They have not lost any games so far. I'm going to go a 3-2 win for LA Galaxy. And for Austin versus San Jose, I'm going to go Austin for this one. Austin has really been playing good. I like how they've been trying to get some points on the board. I don't think they've won a lot of games, but they've definitely drawn a lot of games. They've lost one, won one, and I think the previous three before these two games that they just had, they drew those games. So I'm still expecting them to definitely try to get some momentum from the last game that they won and take that into this game and maybe come out with a win. But at the end of the day, we still can't write off San Jose. They have a worse form than Austin, so that's why I'm going for Austin on this one. I think their last 5 games they've lost 4 and won just 1. So I'm gonna go with the team that's more in form, and that's Austin. So I think a 2-0 win for Austin might be what happens on the day. For Chicago versus Houston in Chicago, I'm not gonna give Houston this one. I think Houston might just lose this one in Chicago. Chicago is a good team, and they're even better at home, I believe. No, they're actually better away, I understand. And Houston is better at, so just to correct that. But I do believe Chicago might win this one, or it might be a draw. I'm going to go for a draw for this one. I'm feeling 1-1 in this game. It's not going to be a very high scoring game, I believe. I got some wrong last week, so I have to preface it by saying I believe. That's just my opinion, guys. Minnesota versus Salt Lake. I have Minnesota on this one. I'm gonna go with Minnesota on this one because Minnesota, very good team, still there and about within the league. They're currently 8th overall and 4th in the Western Conference. Salt Lake is above them, so Salt Lake, this is a tough game. I expect this is going to be a high scoring game. Both teams have the capacity to score a lot of goals. I do believe that Real Salt Lake might lose this one just because it's been played in Minnesota. So I'm going to go Minnesota to win this one and Real Salt Lake to lose with a 2-0 or 2-1. Let's lock that in. 2-1 for Minnesota versus Real Salt Lake. Nashville versus Philadelphia. Nashville is not going to lose this game. I don't believe they're going to lose this game. I think this game might be a 3-1 game for Nashville. They're going to definitely defeat Philadelphia. They're going to take that momentum that they've been using so far in their games, especially from the last game, almost nicking it at the end there in Columbus Crew versus Columbus Crew. I do believe Philadelphia is a good team, but not as good as Nashville. Nashville, to me, is one of the favorites in this league, just the same. So I'm gonna go with something crazy right now because I know Philadelphia is an informed team, but I'm gonna go Nashville to win this one because it's playing at Nashville. So I expect Nashville to win this one 3-1 versus Philadelphia. St. Louis versus Dallas. St. Louis is currently the better team, the more informed team. Dallas, I'm not sure what to think about Dallas. I've not watched a lot of their games, but I do have St. Louis to win this one, mainly because of the atmosphere in St. Louis. It's just beautiful to watch and to see the fans, how they support their team. So I expect Dallas to lose this one, and St. Louis to win. So I'm going to go a 2-0 win for St. Louis. I think the atmosphere is just going to be way too much for the Dallas team, and St. Louis is like they're going to have an extra man on the field just because of the atmosphere. Seattle versus Montreal. Let's not kid ourselves. Montreal will win this one. Seattle still hasn't garnered any type of form. They're still last in the Western Conference, and in the overall league, they're second to last. The only team that's doing worse than them is New England. So I expect Montreal to come here and do the job. Montreal is currently 19th overall and 10th in the Eastern Conference. Remember, this is a team that has been defeating top teams. So I do expect them to win this one versus Seattle. In the Sunday game versus Kansas City and Portland, I think Portland might nick this one. I think a lot of things haven't been going well for Portland lately, but I do believe they have what it takes to win this game here in Kansas City. I know Kansas City is, you could say, is the more informed team, but I believe Portland has faced far greater opponents than Kansas City so far, hence the points difference. And Portland has a lot to prove. And maybe it's my bias because I like Portland, but I'm expecting Portland to win this one. I'm going to go a 1-0 win for Portland in this one. So just lock that one in, 1-0 for Portland. So for my MLS pick'em last week, I just got one wrong from all my picks. So I think I garnered 40 points. The only one I got wrong was the one who's going to score first in the second half, and I got Inter Miami wrong. I got 40 points in round 6. And so let's move on to playing. They say who's going to score first in the second half For this one, I have, let's pick LA Galaxy. I'm not sure. Let's just pick LA Galaxy for this one. For the second, who is going to win for Chicago versus Houston? I have Houston. Who is going to score first? Both teams score. Yes, I do believe both teams might score in this one, or maybe yes. Who is going to win? Seattle versus Montreal. Let's go ahead and pick Montreal, and that's it. Let's submit. Have that. So currently, I have 4 points from last week. I could have had a perfect score, but you know, it happens. You're not gonna win it all every single week. But there you go, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments, offer your prediction, which teams you think is going to win, especially with the LAFC versus LA Galaxy. That's a rival that most people are looking forward to. Thank you guys again for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys soon. I'm out.